Check Ibrahim. أعوذ بالله بسم الله إن ولي الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا صراط مستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Malik. Can you hear me? Brother Malik, are you there? Is it clear? Bismi Ilahi Barka Shiki Rafal Muhabba Nafi Fimadaya Shafi. Assalamu alaikum. Greeting all of the viewers. We are live on YouTube. My name is Cheikh Sufi. We are also on the free conference call line, and the talking conference is starting today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will read the Mohab Nafi, inshallah, give people a chance to join the call. Let there be light. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'ma wakil. Bismi Ilahi, Yan Muluhai, Bila Manahi, Walantihai. Bismi Ilahi, Yan Muluhai, Bila Manahi, Walantihai. Bismil Ilahi, Yan Muluhai, Bila Manahi, Walantihai. Hamdan li Rabbi, Karimu Rabbi, Qadrama Kalbi, Biliktidai, Lahu Shukuri, Bila Kufuri, Wawa Nasiri, Minhu Fidai, Lahu Kirabi, Bila Kirabi, Lahu Kitabi, Ma'atidai, Lakaridai, Lakathanai, Lakatijai, ma'asidai, ya man shafani, ya man hamani, aman jafani, bima huidai, asbil suturi, asli umuri, kathir kuyuri, bila hidai, ya man ajaba, mani sajaba, habli ijaba, bila nidai, ya dha jamali, ya dha jalali, ya kaida wali, tafiluhai, ya dha wuhudi, ya dha wujudi, kuli bijudi, bilantihai, tafi wusuli, bila gufuli, lijud bisuli, jamil ridai, habli tilawa, ma'al halawa, habli diraya, ladal ladai. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Let me check and see. Allahu Akbar. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Salatan tunajina biha min jahmi al-ahwali wal-afat. وتعدلنا بها جميع الحاجات وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات وتتفعلنا بها أحلى درجات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والكاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. يا رحمن يا رحيم ربي بما يشرح لسانك فجاء بجاي أفضل من لك جاء حمد رب كريم لا شريك له وصدري اليوم ذات الملاء محمد صلوات الله في أبادين الله في اسمه كل به كلاء أنه إلى الذي من ويبوه لجمة الكاكي ما يفهم بريا نجيته جلاء رحمانك رحماني تكريم هادين وكل من لاقين بريا رحمن هاب لجامع الكاكي رحمة من يغنيني شري من قرآنه قراءة وهمة المصطفى عن كل مفسدات وتاهم الكاكا يمدد بداء يا مالك الملك يا مجلا كوارين همز يوالى يا هادي الرداء يا مالك الملك يا مجلا كوارين همز يوالى يا هادي الرداء يا مالك الملك يا مجلا كوارين همز يوالى يا هادي الرداء ما هوت ما كناها هو كلمة من دلالين بجاه أفتلي من الله قد لجاء yourself. Sheikh Ibra fall, y'all fall. Assalamu alaikum. We are waiting for a few people to join. Oh my. Amber. Amber, and is that Sister Sandidi? Yes, Walaikum assalam. How are you? All praises due to Allah. I'm blessed. Happy to be doing this question and answer. I hope you guys have some questions. I'm going to read a little bit more of the Mahabal Nafi. Is the sound clear? Yeah. I'll read some more of this Kasai, one of my best friends, Mahabal Nafi, and give people a few more minutes to log in, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Aslata hali, bilati hali, bidi iyali, bila bukai, likban matabi, wahmi janabi, wasumma abi, jawid dakai, kinil garura, wanhu gurura, habli nusura, ma'atikai, kulina wala, yumi kamala, yaman ta'ala, and shurakai, zita hudaya, Utahadaya, Libiridaya, Dunastikai, Yakira Mugni, Agnabimani, Alehi Ugni, Bilagalai, Lakashukuri, Indaduyuri, Yadakusuri, Bilajalai, Yaman Sakani, Yaman Sakani, Yaman Sakani, Yaman Sakani, Yaman Kasani, Yaman Sakani, Yaman Hamani, Anil Kalai, Anta Muradi, Anta Imadi, Nahwa Fuadi, Yadadiyai, Zadata Aibi, Adhabta Raibi, Karhata Jaibi, Kalasmiyai, Anhata Saidi, Kayabta Maidi, Kuli Bikadi, Kalatkiyai, Yakaira Muhi, Kuli Birahi, Wakari Sai, Kalaskiyai. Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum. Bakir Sheikh Ibrafah. Who would like to ask the first question? Okay. Okay. So your question is why is darkness seen as bad, and why do we gravitate towards the darkness inside of ourselves? Okay. Okay. What your question is related to the darkness, and why do we choose the darkness over the light? What we have is the polar opposites. In the universe, there's always two principles. You have the principle of yin, which may be seen as darkness or something negative. And then you have the principle of yang, which can be seen as something positive. And in the universe, there's always a balance. So what we think is negative may not be negative, and what we think is positive might not be positive. There's a verse in the Quran that says, there's something which is bad for you, but you think is good for you, and there's something that's good for you that you think is bad for you. So in life, everything is often the polar opposite of what we think it is. The Sufis say the one who thinks he's close to Allah is actually far from Allah, and the one who thinks that she is far from Allah might actually be close to Allah. But in reference to the darkness and its source, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, our master, has said that there are four enemies on the path. And these four enemies are Nafs, Hawa, Dunya, and Shaitan. The Nafs, huh? Can you hear me? Can you hear? You there? So the four enemies of the path that are the source of the darkness is what we call, according to our teacher Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, Nash, which is your lower self. Hawa is passions and desires. Dunya, which is materialism. And the Shaitan, Billah, may Allah protect us from him. So until a person can overcome those four enemies by doing the internal jihad or jihad al-akbar, the jihad al-nash, the war against the lower self, the person will still be attracted to what we call darkness, because all the darkness is coming from one of those four enemies, nafs, hawa, dunya, and shaitan. So I hope that answers your question. What was the second part of the question?
My second part was, he was so powerful, transition is going on. You already answered why is it a hidden secret. Okay, why is it a hidden secret of being a spiritual being in a human being? Why is it such a hidden secret? Why is it so scared to be spiritual, say a spiritual being?
Yeah, because why are people scared to be spiritual beings, and why is it a secret that we are spiritual beings having a human experience? In the Western society, we basically have all become actors on the stage. Our Sheikh Muhyiddin says you are in prison. Our Sheikh Muhyiddin says you are in prison. You are in the prison of the concepts and mental constructs of the society that you are born in. He says you are also in the prison of your mind and your thoughts. And he says you are also in the prison of whichever religion that you ascribe to. So because of all of the conditioning from society that tells you that you are a human being, we forget who we actually are. Because in reality, the true self in the soul is immortal and knowing no death. The true self of the human being is an immortal being, a source of light or from the light. And so we don't identify with the light self. We identify with I am black, I'm white, I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm fat, I'm skinny, I'm dark skinned, I'm light skinned. We identify with all of these outer qualities and outer characteristics, and we forget that I am the soul, I am from the light, I am a being of light having a human experience. And in the phonetics of the word human, you actually find the essence of who you are. The question is asked, the most spiritual question you can ask is, who am I? And the answer to that question, who am I, is actually in the question. You are who? You are who? Who is the essence of Allah existing without form, without masculine or feminine genders? So the essence of the self is the essence of who. And when you say who man being or the human being, you have the Arabic prefix HU in front of the English word MAN. And we all know that in Arabic, who, Allahu, 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 Allahu. We all know that in Arabic, who is the essence of Allah. So the who man being, HUMAN being, is the essence of Allah existing in the form of man and woman. So it's actually not a bad thing to be a who man being. To be a who man being, you're actually manifesting the essence of who in the form of what we call man. And we know man is nothing but mind. So the human being is higher than the angels. We are the highest essence and manifestation of Allah in the known and unknown universe. It's a gift and a blessing to be a human being. But as our Sheikh Muhyiddin says, there's very few humans on the planet. Because a human is the manifestation of God in the human form in the physical plane. But most of the human beings are stuck in the first, second, or third chakra. You're never going to manifest your internal divinity until you get to the fourth station of the soul, which is synonymous with the fourth chakra, which would mean I'm acting and my inspiration comes from love. Only through manifesting the heart chakra and the power of love can you become a true human being, because the human being is the essence and the manifestation of who on the physical plane. I hope that answers your question. You have a question, Supernova? Okay. Is Sakina up? Oh, so I was going to ask her to come and sit and join the class, but that's okay. Yeah, what's the next question? Go ahead, Brother Fabian. Go ahead. Of course I know your voice.
Okay. It was the question that I had. I remember a couple of classes ago. You mentioned something. I just forgot the Torah. The Torah that this was. You were talking. You made like you was making a connection with the scale of Maya. You know, the judgment hall of Maya. The heart is weighed on. The heart is weighed on the scale.
Right.
And you mentioned that there was a surah in the Quran that chronicles the same, the same science. Do you remember what surah that was that dealt with the weighing of the heart ceremony?
I'm not sure exactly what surah it is, but I know the reference in the Quran. In the Quran, it mentions that all of your deeds will be weighed even to the weight of an atom. And all of your deeds will be weighed on the scale. And in Arabic, the scale is called the mizan, or the balance. So the scale is the mizan, and Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, may Allah be pleased with him, says to get the most out of your actions, focus on your intention on the action. So the act is based on the intention, whether it will be a good action or a bad action. That action is based on the intention. So all of your acts will be weighed on the scale to the weight of an atom. So that's why in the Quran it says, if you do a bad deed, hurry up to do a good deed to outweigh it. That's in the Quran. So it's talking about the balance and the judgment. It says in the Quran, if you do a bad deed, rush to do a good deed so that that good deed will outweigh the bad. Now, in reference to good and evil, this is a very good question, because in Islam, we don't have the concept of a deity that wants to punish us. In Islam, we don't have this idea of a deity that's angry that wants to punish his creation. No.
Exactly.
And we see that in the saying that Allah has said, my mercy will always outweigh my wrath. When Allah says my mercy will always outweigh my wrath, Allah is more merciful than wrathful. And then in the Holy Quran it says, the good is from me and the bad is from your own hands. This is Quran. Allah says in the Quran, the good is from me, Allah, and the bad is from your own hands. So this is the actions of karma. You reap what you sow. The human being is never punished by Allah. That's a false doctrine. Allah does not punish human beings. Your own actions punish you. Your own karmic actions of negativity come back to you. Allah says the good is from him and the bad is from your own hands. But look at the mercy of Allah. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salam, I'm like some Palo Santo. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad has said that the way that Allah judges the actions is based on your intentions. And listen to this, because what Prophet Muhammad has said about actions shows the mercy of Allah outweighing the wrath. So Allah has said, if you make the intention to do a good deed and you do not get to do that good deed, Allah will still bless you with one good deed. Allahu, 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 la ilaha illahu al-hayyul qayyum, la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm, lahu ma fi samawati wa ma fil ard. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. Yeah, that was the Ayatul Kursi. So Allah has said, if you make intentions to, also for the people on YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, for the viewers of YouTube on the YouTube live, there should be a way that you can ask a question. There's a chat room on the YouTube page. If you want to ask a question, you can. So, as I was saying, the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam has said that Allah said, somebody needs to mute your phone, please. Whoever just logged on, please mute your phone. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. So, actions are based on their intentions. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said to get the most of your intention, focus on the action before the intention. So, the Prophet Muhammad said, Allah said, if you make the intention to do a good deed and you do not do that good deed, Allah will bless you with one good deed. Example, if you made intentions to go help your mom clean the house, you didn't get a chance to actually do that, but your intention was to help and serve your mother, Allah will bless you with a good deed as if you served your mom. Then the Prophet says, if you make the intention to do a good deed and you actually complete that good deed or action, Allah will bless you with 10 good deeds. So in Islam, every one good deed that you do, you are blessed with 10 good deeds. And then the Prophet says, if you make intention to commit something evil, or if you make the intention to do something negative, like say, I think I'm gonna go to the store and buy a beer or drink a 40 ounce today. That's something negative. You had an intention to do that deed, but for some reason you changed your mind and said, no, I'm not gonna take this drink today. Allah will bless you with one good deed because you had intention to do something negative and you did not do it. So that counts as one good deed. And the Prophet says, alayhi salam, if you make the intention to do a bad deed and you actually carry out that bad deed, the bad deed only counts as one negative deed on your account. Every good thing you do counts as 10 deeds, and every bad thing you do only counts as one negative deed. So you see the mercy of Allah in the way that He even weighs out our actions and deeds. The mercy of Allah, the Rahman, will always outweigh His wrath. And I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Yeah. The whole time you were talking, I was just looking at, I think it's Surah 21, 47.
And what does that? And what does that surah say? What does the surah say?
And well, this might be this is the one that I found. It said, and a just balance on the day of resurrection, all shall be dealt with unjustly in the least. And though there will be the weight of a grain, we bring it, and sufficient are we to take account.
I mean, the weight of a grain we will bring it, and we are sufficient to take account. This is the balance. This is exactly what it was saying in the ancient Kemetic text with the weighing of the heart.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Mustard seed. I caught on to the symbolic language of the mustard seed is the atom that you're talking about.
Yes.
That's the atom.
And the interesting thing is, every zikr that you say weighs on the scale. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said there's a phrase that is light on the tongue, but is heavy on the scales of judgment. And that is subhanallahi wa bihamdihi subhanallah al-azim astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. One la ilaha illallah. Now let me make this clear. Most of the Muslims are crazy talking about, it's very difficult for a Muslim to go to hell. Let me just a'udhu billahi from those teachings of those Muslims who don't know nothing. It's very difficult for a Muslim to go to hell because this phrase La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah is so heavy on the scales that our Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam said, and listen to this, Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, said, if you took the 9 planets and everything in the universe and put it on one side of the mizan, on one side of the scale, and you took the La ilaha illallah and put it on the other side of the scale, our beloved Prophet Muhammad said that this La ilaha illallah would outweigh everything in the known universe. So La ilaha illallah is heavy. Heavy. Extremely heavy. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam went so far as, let me say that the Prophet Muhammad went so far as to say that anyone who says La ilaha illallah, Allah is the only reality, there's none worthy of worship but Allah. Anyone who says La ilaha illallah one time with sincerity will go into Jannah, because this La ilaha illallah will outweigh any of their negative deeds. That's why some of the Sufis say La ilaha illallah is Miftah al-Jannah. La ilaha illallah Miftah al-Jannah. La ilaha illallah is the key to going to heaven, the key of paradise. Because when you recite La ilaha illallah, it's like taking bleach and putting it on all of your bad deeds. So recite. Yes, please, ask the question.
I got a couple questions. Say, so when you put in that retrospect, like scale, la one side of the scale, and opposed to the other part of the scale. So if the person's spirit is really like the person who commits to the push. Easily say la ilaha illallah. I don't mean accepted. Those words, like I'm just thinking about.
That's what he said. He said in sincerity, though.
Right.
It's got to be with sincerity. Everything with Islam is intent. So it's got to be said with sincerity, because Allah knows everything in the known universe. Even what you think that's a secret to yourself, Allah knows that before.
Fall. Shake it, fall. Go ahead, Sheikh Zulu. Go ahead, Zulu.
I just want to know why B2K broke up.
Allahu Akbar. I don't have the answer to that one.
What's up, Sheikh Zulu? What's going on?
Hey, I miss you, Sheikh Zulu. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I miss you, Sheikh Zulu. How's everything in Virginia? Sheikh Indigo Falls. Man, I gotta visit Virginia soon.
I'm trying to keep locks on them. They walk around with top hats, beads. They crazy out here,
man. You doing such a good work, and you're doing such a good work in Virginia. It's incredible. The blessing you get from giving the Shahada. Huh?
I said you throwing alley-oops. You Rondo.
Man, listen. Let me tell everybody one thing. When I lived in West Africa, it was on. I was doing the zikr and the worship like an insane madman. And one of my teachers, said, we know you're doing the practices, you're reading the qasids, you're doing the extra prayers, you're doing the zikrs. The Sheikh told me this. He said, it's good that you stay in our country and do the zikr. But he said to go back to America and get one person to say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, he said it's better than any worship prayer or qasid that you could read in our country. And when he told me that, I knew it was time for me to leave the temple. About 2 or 3 months after that, I came back to America. That was his way of telling me everything you did over here is good. Go back to America and do some work. To give one shahada, for one person to say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah, is better than all the zikr and prayer and fasting I could do in another country. So that's why we're here working for Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba and Sheikh will fall till the wheels fall off. Does anybody have another question? Let's keep it going.
I got one serious question, though.
Yes.
It actually is a two-part thing, but it's for everybody. One is, because a lot of people, it might be a lot of new people on the call, or just not a lot of new people coming in this way, which Islam has got a bad name. You think? Yeah. What is it about praying that we don't understand as a people, that we don't understand, even though English is not our language, that just because you're praying in another language, what makes us repel from it? Or like we hear anything other than English, we immediately think is devil worship, voodoo, and all that.
Yeah, for the new people. For the new people, yeah. For the new people, our Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam has said every person is born with a jinn. And he said every person is born with a jinn. And the people ask, a jinn is the guy in the White House. Oh, astaghfirullah. Did I say that? He's definitely a jinn. He's probably, you know how we do the bayat? He did the bayat with Shaitan. Astaghfirullah. But how to be lied. May Allah protect us from him. But a jinn is a jinn is a being made from smokeless fire. We did a talk on the jinns before. I don't want to go into it too much right now. But in the universe, there's only three beings. There's the angels, the human beings, and the jinns. And that's a whole nother topic. But the Prophet Muhammad said, alayhi salam, he told his followers, everyone is born with a jinn. And the people asked the Prophet, alayhi salam, even you, O Muhammad? He said, yes, but my jinn is Muslim. So the goal of Islam is to get your jinn to practice. The goal of one of the goals of Islam is to get your jinn to become Muslim. So why did I say that in answer to your question? You say, why is it that when people hear prayers in Arabic, a lot of times they have an aversion to it? The aversion is coming from the jinn, not from their own self. The jinn that you are born with does not want you to say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. The jinn you're born with does not want you to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The jinn you are born with does not want you to say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. None of these prayers in Arabic. Because when you do the prayers in Arabic, you are actually beating the jinn. The jinn cannot defeat Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. One sincere Bismillah Rahman Rahim is enough to get your jinn to leave you alone. Our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said, no, it was Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba who said this, the same person. But Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, the wudu, washing with the water, and Bismillah Rahman Rahim will protect you from magic and jinn. So by making a wudu with the water, washing the arm, leg, arm, and the head, the 5 points of the body with the wudu, and using the Bismillah Rahman Rahim, you can defeat the jinn that might be with you. So that's why when a lot of people, first time they hear the prayers in Arabic, they always say, why you got to pray in Arabic? Why you got to pray in Arabic? I had a mysterious thing happen to me around 1993. In 1993, I had just taken my Shahada. I didn't speak any Arabic. I didn't know any Arabic prayers. I went to a Muslim banquet with Honorable Warafuddin Muhammad, the son of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I went to a Muslim banquet with Warafuddin Muhammad's community in Indianapolis, Indiana, a banquet hall full of people. For some reason, an old Muslim lady walked up to me out of nowhere. The old Muslim lady walked up to me. She sat down next to me and said to me, she didn't even say salam alaikum. She looked at me and said, son, as soon as you learn to pray in Arabic, the devil will not have no power over you. And that's the only thing I remember that she said the whole conference. She sat next to me and she said, literally, son, as soon as you learn to pray in Arabic, the devil will have no power over you. Now, this was over 23 years ago. This lady didn't know me from Adam. She walked straight up to me and told me that. I took that as a message from the divine that I need to learn my Al-Fatiha in Arabic, and I need to start praying in Arabic. So that's exactly what I did. And that was 23 years ago. So the prayers in Arabic have power. And I tell people this, if you want to raise your spiritual station, you want to go to a station of enlightenment, nirvana, or fanafi, Allah, extinction, and God, you have to start doing prayers in one of three languages. You're either going to have to start praying in Sanskrit, Om Mani Padme Hung, Om Mani Padme Hung, Om Mani Padme Hung. You have to start praying in Sanskrit to raise your vibration. You're going to have to learn Hebrew. The 72 names of Allah in Hebrew are very powerful. Or you're going to have to start praying in Arabic. So it's Sanskrit, Hebrew, and Arabic are the three languages of power that we know today. Now, also, in ancient Egypt, they had what was called Hakau. Hakau was words of power, or what we call incantation or magic spells using words. But the ancient Egyptian Hakau are so rare, you very rarely can find an Egyptian adept or Egyptian mystic who knows these ancient Hakau or Egyptian words of power. But I'm telling you that the Egyptian system is completely found in the West African Sufi system. So what we are practicing in the teachings of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba and Sheikh Ibrahim is the same system that they had in ancient Kemet as far as self-realization using the words of power. Listen, Listen to this. Bismillahi yanmuluhai bilamanahi walantihai hamdan rabbi keru rabbi kadrama kalbi dai lahu shukuri bila kufuri wa nasiri minhu fidai. What you think gonna happen if you sit and chant them words for an hour? Just by chanting the powerful words of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, you're changing your vibration. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said that my kasai, this is, I want to show the viewers, this is a book of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba's writings, kasai. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said that my kasais are like a bird. He said every kasai is a bird flying directly to the divine proximity of Allah. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said the writing is a bird. The people who sing and chant the kasais are the wings of the bird. And he said the people who listen to the kasides are the feathers of the bird. So anywhere where the kaside is being chanted, the vibration is going into the divine proximity of Allah, and the kaside prayer is taking the reciters and the listeners to Allah. Just by reading Sandidi, you're changing your vibration. Just by reading the Mahabul Nafi, you're going to the divine proximity. That's why Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, reading and chanting my kasides is more powerful than studying with a sheikh from another tariqat. Let me say that again. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, reading my kasid is more powerful than studying with the sheikh of another tariqat, because the sheikh is supposed to be able to give you tarbiyah, tarki, and tasfiyah. All sheikhs ain't the same. Hip Hop Raheem and New Orleans. That's for you, Brother Raheem in New Orleans. All sheikhs ain't the same. You got some milkshakes out here. You got some shaky shakes out here. You got some fake shakes. You got some shakes that just want to sing and dance. They ain't giving you no tarbiyah. A sheikh should be, huh? Because all disciples are not sincere. If you're sincere, huh?
Yin and yang. That's why it's allowed. Showing yin and yang.
Explain that, Brother Zulu. Please speak on that.
For every positive energy is a negative energy. He told you everybody is born with the jet. And you can't be in the doom. You can't walk the shit and not get it on you. How you express your shit. Everybody got some shit to express. In fact, that's why we say be really, really careful who you wake up.
And back on that topic.
Everyone is a disciple. Or even Jesus, even the prophet Jesus said, he that can hear, let him hear. He that can see, let him see. That's why he spoke it from the one.
I mean.
It's a responsibility to walk on this path. And outside of the responsibility is an accountability. Some people like the responsibility, or some people are really good for responsibility, but they have no accountability. But you know, everybody wants to be God. Everybody wants God accountable, but nobody wants God accountability or God responsibility. There's an element. There was an element that I would add on to that too.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I would say, I remember an elder that I used to listen to named C. Freemanel.
Islam?
What's up, C. Freemanel? What's up? He used to talk about, he used to explain something on the man chart with, when he was talking about yin and yang, and he used to show how on a pyramid, basically like a pyramid symbol, he showed on one side of the pyramid represented good, the other side represented evil, but the top of it represented perfection. So, in other words, going into the science that you were talking about, dealing with zikr, wudu, spiritual purification, in other words, the goal, the ultimate goal, is to elevate yourself outside of this physical reality that we live in. In other words, to
you dropping it.
Right. In other words, to elevate yourself out of, like, in other words, like when you have, let's say, like the film symbol of a circle. And he used to talk about that too, the circle, which is nothing but just a cycle. And you're on one side of the circle, then you keep going all the way around, you end up on the same exact side that you was on last week. So the goal is to basically elevate yourself outside of that cycle, and that is what the spiritual purification is talking about. In other words, make sense?
Man, that's deep. I want to add on to what you're saying. And I tell people everywhere I go, the only way out of the matrix is to find someone who is out of the matrix. The only way out of the matrix is to find a sheikh who's outside of the matrix. And the sheikh will give you something from outside of the matrix. In prison, in order to break out of prison, you have to have something from outside of that prison. So the zikr la ilaha illallah is outside of the matrix. The zikr Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is from outside the matrix. The Salatul Fatih, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatihi lima uglika wa khatimi lima sabaka nasrul haqi bil haq wal hadi la siratika mustaqim wa ala alihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdar azim. The Salatul Fatih is from outside the matrix. The entire Quran is from outside of the matrix, and the entire Quran is in the Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. So the human being is locked inside of the matrix of his mind and his mental constructs. So when you use prayers from outside of the matrix, such as the dhikrs, every Qasaid, Sindidi, Mohibul Nafi, Mafatul Bisri, they're outside of the matrix. The Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, and Cheikh Ibn Fall are outside of the matrix. So if you want to break outside of the spider web of the material plane, you need a prayer or a teaching that's from outside of that matrix. So when you do the zikr and you do the Qasaid, or you make the salat, or you're reading the Quran, you're actually deconstructing the matrix that you live inside of so that you can become free.
Exactly.
Just by reciting the words. Nah. Anybody else? I wish I could take a question from a viewer. We got a few viewers on YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings to the viewers on YouTube. Does anybody else have a, let's keep it going. Who has another question? Somebody ask, please.
Yes, sir. And then you gotta look at it too. I'm done.
Go ahead, Sheikh. Peace and blessings.
Now I'm chill back. I want to hear some questions too. I'm chill.
Okay.
Hey, Cheikh Sufi, can you hear me?
Yes, who is this?
This is Nene So.
Huh?
This is Nene So.
Many so.
Nene So.
Well, nice to meet you, Nini. So what's your question?
My question, you already know me, Cheikh Sufi.
Hold on. Is this in Cleveland, Ohio?
No, I'm actually in California. I'm Serena Abdullah's wife.
Oh, mashallah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Your husband, he went to Mago, right?
Yeah, he did. He'll be back on the 29th in Sarah.
What? What did I do to get this blessing to have you on the call? How's it doing? How you doing, Nagadef?
I'm doing none of that money check. I'm doing well. I actually moved from San Diego, and now I'm up in the Central Coast area, and everything has just been really falling into place.
I mean,
I was able to do 50 chickens for the Lago.
fall, y'all them fall. What?
Right, that was really special for me because things been growing every year. Like the first year I could buy DAs and hogs, because that's all I was able to do.
Yeah.
And the next year I was able to buy DA Paul and 2 lambs. That's
What?
all I could do. This year I was able to buy 3 cows, 2 lambs, and 50 chickens.
Oh, please pray for me. My name is Cheikh Sufi. Make a dua for me. You got some barakah coming this year, sister.
Really, really special. So my question kind of goes back to what you were saying into the matrix, community, working in prison, in the mental health department, black men, and most of the staff are non-black, mental health staff.
Go figure.
I've been getting like a lot of support. I've been getting a lot of support from the other staff and management and stuff because management was like, we need more programs that are culturally competent. I'm like, okay, I hear you.
What?
But, the classes I teach, like meditation, 5 years something, I have music and creativity class in the creative writing. And I try to implement as much like metaphysical teaching and intentions and all that. And I get a lot of feedback from my classes just because I'm a female, energy coming in and, they just praise that. But at the same time, I need help as far as like, you have to separate church and state, so you really kind of go into religion and religious texts and things like that. But I need like some code words and something like that where I can break through as far as manifestation, as far as intention, and as far as just like adaptability and letting go. Because that's what I deal with. Most of the brothers that I deal with are suffering from like major depression, and the conditions with most of all the white guys is like they're bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
I've been working in prison since 2008, so I can have these jobs, but I choose to be in the prison. But I was just kind of hoping for a little bit of guidance as far as some teachings I can share that I can kind of like a Negro spiritual, kind of like if the teacher message in here where I'm not just saying it, I need some guidance on that.
As far as teachings you can share with the inmates or teachings for yourself?
Teachings that I can share with the inmates that can help them free their mind.
Okay, there's a book by James Allen called As a Man Thinketh. If you get the people to read As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, they won't be in prison no more. And remember, El-Haj Malik Shabazz, Malcolm X was giving a lecture, I think, at Harvard, and he said somebody asked Malcolm X, were you in prison? Malcolm X said, don't be shocked because I was in prison. He said, if you're in America, you're in prison.
Right.
So the prison exists in your mind. They took the shackles off of our ankles and our wrists and put the shackles on our minds. So Baal Mahadin says you exist in the prison of your mind. The Buddhist teaching is that you exist in the false reality of your mental constructs. So everyone is inside the prison of their mind. And the old saying goes, free your mind and the rest will follow. But the mental constructs can be broken from studying the science of the mind and metaphysics. Matter of fact, I have a book called Divine Mind Science. I have a book called Divine Mind Science, Sufi Meditation. You could teach that book to the people. That will help them. My book, Divine Mind Science, Sufi Meditation, breaks down the constructs of the mind and shows that God is the only reality. But the same concepts in my book are in James Allen's book that came out in the 1920s. All these books about the law of attraction, the book The Secret that made millions of dollars, that all came from James Allen's book As a Man Thinketh, which came out in the 1920s. It's one of the most powerful books for positive thinking and for changing the mental construct. So I would say for the inmates, you want to get a copy of James Allen's book, and also you can teach from my book, Divine Mind Science, Sufi Meditation. But when you work in that environment, make sure you always have your wudu. Always recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim at least 313 times. Well, that's a lot for you. You can recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim 50 times before going to work. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim 50 times before going to work. And then when you get inside, you want to say the name Ya Hafizu. You want to recite the name Ya Hafizu at least 99 times when you're inside of the prison. Ya Hafizu is Allah's name, the protector and the preserver. And if you keep your wudu, use the Bismillah Rahman Rahim and the Yahafisu, it will help protect you from the psychological attacks that may be occurring in the prison where you work. No kabod. And that's a beautiful question. That's a real life question. I appreciate that question. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Any more questions or comments?
I have a question.
Please ask.
But I got something else to talk about. The movie, that video you did, Who is God and the Devil?
Yes.
I know you don't want to talk too much about that, but this part, but.
No, go ahead. I'll answer any question. Any question.
Okay. Okay. Well, the question was then was what is the difference between a non-Muslim jinn and a Muslim jinn?
That's a good question. She says, what's the difference between a non-Muslim jinn and a Muslim jinn? The non-Muslim jinns are very evil. They are very evil. They will lead you into the wrong way. The non-Muslim jinns are very evil. A lot of times, it says in the Quran, Kul a'udhu birabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas, min sharril waswasil khannas, alladhi waswi sufi sudurin nas. We seek protection of Allah from the whispers inside of the heart or inside of the chest area. So the Quran says that these jinns whisper or give suggestions to the human being. And a lot of times you hear in a court case, a guy will go in the courtroom, the guy killed his whole family, killed his wife and his kids, and the judge will say, why did you kill all of your family? The man will say, I heard a voice telling me to kill him. Now in court, you can't prove that he heard a voice, but in Islam, you can prove, yes, the jinn gave him that suggestion to carry out that bad deed. So in the Holy Quran, Allah and Shaitan are talking. And Allah says to the Shaitan, A'udhu Billah, he says, Shaitan, did you cause those people to do all those evil deeds? And the Shaitan played the disclaimer card. He said, no, Allah, I did not cause anybody to commit any sins or any evil. The devil said, I just made the suggestion for them to commit these deeds, and they followed my suggestion and did it on their own. So the non-Muslim jinns incite people to do evil. But a Muslim jinn can incite you to do something good. You might hear a voice telling you go make salat. You might hear a voice telling you recite 1,000 zikrs. You might hear a voice telling you don't go to that party tonight. You might hear a suggestion saying you should be reading Sandidi. These are all coming from spiritual beings, and sometimes it's coming from a jinn that is a Muslim jinn. The Muslim jinns love to read Quran. Muslim jinns, they make salat. Muslim jinns, they fast. Muslim jinns go to make hajj. So a Muslim jinn is practicing Islam, and a non-Muslim jinn is not practicing Islam. That's the difference.
I have another one.
Please ask. I love questions.
I'm asking that. This one is why do family generations have to be punished for past family members' deeds?
Yeah. Why do family now that in Islam we don't believe that. That's a false doctrine from Christianity. You are not punished for your parents' deeds. You're not punished for your grandparents' bad deeds. That's a lie. That's a false teaching. We are not held accountable for the sins of our parents. They lied. Them devils lied. There's no such thing as being born in sin. My mama used to tell us she hated that idea that they would say that a child was born in sin. You are not born in sin. Every baby comes to the planet Earth pure without the sin of their parents. No matter what the parents were doing, the soul of the baby is pure. That's a false teaching. So throw that out the window.
So the Quran and the Bible, they still say, I'm not saying the whole thing. They still
Yeah.
Have same or similarities. If that's the case, then why isn't just one book? And why isn't it universal and everybody on the same page? Like the Baptist and
Sister girl, you asked a good question. You asked with the Quran and the Bible, what's the differences and why isn't there just one book so that everybody can be in one accord? Let me give you this teaching. In reality, there is only one holy book. In the Quran, it speaks of this one holy book. The name of the holy book in the Quran is al-Kitab. There's only one holy book, and this holy book in Arabic is mentioned in the Quran. It's called the al-Kitab. And the al-Kitab is the mother of all the books. Al-Kitab is the mother of all the holy books. Every holy book on the planet Earth came out of this one book. Allah says in the Quran that this book, Kitab, is with Allah in the Jannah, in heaven. So the Kitab, meaning mother, Kitab means books. The Bible, the Quran, and the Torah are nothing but chapters out of that one book. It's inside of your heart. It's called the Kitab, the mother of the books. You can access this book. Matter of fact, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, this is deep. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, my writings came from the same place that the Holy Quran came from. This is a very fine point. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, my writings, my qasides, came from the exact same place that the Holy Quran came from. The Holy Quran came out of the Kitab, the mother of the books. Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba's writings came from that Kitab. He took from the Kitab and put it on paper. That's why his writings are so powerful. So the Quran, the Torah, and the Injil. Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, has a book called the Injil, not the Gospel of Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Those are false gospels. How in the hell are you going to find somebody named Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the Middle East back then? That couldn't have been their names. That's impossible. You're not in that area named Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John hundreds of years ago. 2000, that's a lie. Couldn't have been their names. So they couldn't have had no true teachings. But in the Holy Quran, Allah said that there's a gospel of Isa, that Jesus himself had his own gospel, and that book is hidden. They probably have it in the basement of the Vatican somewhere. But nowhere can you find the gospel of Isa. But in the Quran, his book is mentioned, and his gospel came from the Kitab. The problem with the Bible is this. In the Bible, you have the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament laws are different than the laws and teachings in the New Testament. So you have two main religions that read the same book and they all have different practices. You have the Jews who don't eat pork because they're living off of Old Testament law that's in the Bible. You have the Christians that do eat pork because they're living off of a false teaching that's in the New Testament. Now, there's a book called The Bible, the Quran, and Science. It was written by a priest that took Shahada and became Muslim. There's a book called The Bible, the Quran, and Science by Maurice Bucaille. It's a French name. Maurice Bucaille, something like that. But the book is named The Bible, the Quran, and Science. And it puts the weight of the Bible against science and the weight of the Quran against science. And it's telling you that the Quran is more of a provable book based on science than what you find in the Holy Bible. So listen, the New Testament and the Old Testament don't agree. But do you know that the Old Testament and the Holy Quran agree on about 95% of everything? The teachings in the Old Testament is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one. In the Quran it says, Kul hu Allah ahad, say Allah is one. So the Tawheed and the monotheism is in the Quran and in the Old Testament. You don't get this idea of Trinity and polytheism until the New Testament. That is what we call Pauline Christianity, or Christianity based on the teachings of Paul, who invented this idea of a Trinity to sell it to the people who were polytheists. But in the Old Testament, and the prophet Jesus says, I live my life based on the Old Testament, and the Old Testament is based on oneness, and the Quran is based on oneness. So if you got the Bible and the Quran that agree, and the New Testament does not agree with the Quran, and the New Testament does not agree with the Old Testament. So the problem, my friend, is the New Testament. And God does not make up any new ideas. Allah don't change his mind. Whoever thought that Allah would say something and then say, no, I wasn't good. I ain't mean that. I'm going to change it. No. Kul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad. Say Allah is one, Allah is eternal and absolute. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. As it was in the Old Testament, you find that in the Quran, but not in the middle in the New Testament. This is a very good question. Who has a question? Please ask.
All right, peace.
Peace and blessing. Who is this?
I follow you on social media on Instagram.
Brother Tollett?
Todd, T-O-D-D.
Oh, welcome to the call, Brother Todd. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Okay. So basically, my journey has revealed to me of multi-dimensional nature and existing on many planes simultaneously. With that being said, I know our dreams hold a lot of subconscious info and memory. So my question is there a zikr or diet or a practice to help the recollection and to remember our dreams?
Yes. 2 practices. Recite Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim 21 times before going to sleep, and always go to sleep with a wudu, washing your hands with water, wash your face with water, the top of your head with water, wash your ears with water, and wash your feet with water. That is what we call a wudu. It purifies you. If you do that ritual with the water before going to sleep, and you recite Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim 21 times before going to sleep, this will help you remember your dreams. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's a very good question. You have another question?
Not right now. If I think of one, I'm gonna let you know.
Okay. Now, another thing related to dreams is if you use the name Ya Latif, at a certain number, it'll help you have dreams to see the future. Yeah, using Ya Latif a certain number of times can help you to have dreams where you see the future. Because the heart is the window. Every night when your soul leaves the body, it goes to school and learns a lesson from Allah. Allah says in the Holy Quran, I take the souls at night and I return the souls to the body in the morning when they awake. So every night your soul is receiving some information. But some you remember and some you don't. It's the condition of your heart, Brother Todd, that allows you to remember or not remember the dreams. The heart is the window between this world and the dream world. The heart is the window between this world and the plane of the soul. So if your heart is pure, you can remember the dreams more. If your heart is not pure, it's like looking out a window that has mud on it. If you have mud and dirt on your window, you can't see outside the window. If you clean the window, you can see outside the window. So the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said the polish for the heart is La ilaha illallah. So another practice you can do, Muhammad said the polish of the heart is La ilaha illallah. So Brother Todd, you can start to recite La ilaha illallah as much as you can during the day and La ilaha illallah as much as you can at night. That will start to purify your heart. When your heart is pure, every morning when you wake up, the dream is told to you from your higher self. So who are you? There's a person that is asleep and there's a person that's hearing the dream. The person that is asleep is your false self. The one who tells you the dream when you wake up, that's your higher self. So we have the higher self and the lower self, and that's extremely clear because if you're asleep, who is it that's remembering the dream and telling you when you wake up? So when you do the zikr, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, somebody needs to mute their phone, please. The la ilaha illallah is a purifier for the heart. And when you purify the heart, you have a higher chance of remembering the dream because the window of the heart is clear.
Thank
No problem. Yes, please. Walaikum salam.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Khadija. I have a question.
Sona Khadija in Stone Mountain?
Yes, sir.
Alhamdulillah, please ask your question.
Okay, so in some of your teachings prior to this, or maybe you mentioned it earlier, you mentioned that Sheikh Ibrahim taught that one of the fastest ways, or maybe the fastest way to Allah is through feeding people.
Yes.
So I had an opening yesterday, and so I want to make the intention to do that, but I wanted to ask you, and I'm saying I want to make the intention to feed some of the people in my community.
Hold up. We want to participate in that. We want to put our money in that, and we want to help with that. So we'll talk about that. But go ahead.
Alhamdulillah. So I'm going to ask you: is there a best day to do that on, or a best way to go about doing that?
Ooh. The best day to do it on would be either a Thursday or Friday if possible. Why do I say that?
Okay.
We have a spiritual government that is set up by Allah and the angels. Literally, Prophet Muhammad salam said that all the deeds of your week, from Friday to Thursday, Allah records all of your deeds. The Prophet Muhammad said that on Thursday, the angels take the deeds to Allah to be judged on Thursday. That sounds crazy, don't it? The Prophet Muhammad salam said that on Thursday, all of our deeds for the week are taken to Allah to be judged on Thursday. That sounds crazy. But Friday through Thursday, Allah is writing the angels are writing the deeds. And it is said by the Prophet that on Thursday, your book of deeds is taken to be judged on Thursday. So if you were to feed the homeless on Thursday, what would that do to your book of deeds? Oh, what? Are you kidding me? So in America, it might not be easy to do it on Thursday, but that would be the auspicious day. Or the Prophet Muhammad salam said, listen to this though. I always do extra acts of good on Friday. On Friday, you should do extra zikr. Any extra good act should be done on a Friday. If you want to feed some people, feed them on Friday. Why? The Prophet Muhammad said that the day of judgment would be on Friday. The day of judgment will be on a Friday at sunset. On a Friday, at Maghrib. The day of judgment will be on Friday at sunset. So it's always good to do extra good deeds on Friday, because we know the day of judgment, according to our Prophet salam, would be on a Friday. So to do feed the people on a Friday would be very good, because the day of judgment would be on a Friday. And if you can have on your account that you fed people on a Friday, whoo. Yeah, and if you do it on a Friday, I can participate. Oh, what? That's perfect. So I'm preparing to help cook the food on Thursday and help pay for the food on Thursday. And I want to help giving the food out on Friday. We starting this week? What's up?
Starting this week, this coming week, yes, sir, inshallah.
Man, let's get these blessings. Anybody who's in the sound of our voice, who's in the Atlanta area, matter of fact, I'm asking everybody on this call, and I'm going to spread this to all of my students and all of my disciples. We will start to feed the people on Fridays. Wherever you are, you need to start giving away some food on Friday. Sister Khadija, is this going to be once a month, or once? How often you want to do it? Woo! Okay, so my intention is to help you feed the people every Thursday. So every Thursday we cook the food, every Friday we give it away. We're stepping it up. So I'm asking all of my disciples and all of my students to find a way to cook some food on Thursday and give it away on Friday. Now, if you know you can't cook, don't be giving nobody no nasty food. Just on Friday, go and buy some food and give it to the homeless people. Yeah, if you can't cook, don't give no homeless person a sandwich and they slap back. I don't want this nasty food. If you know you can't cook and you live in New York, and I know some of y'all brothers can't cook in New York, y'all just making ramen noodles. Go buy some chicken or buy some food and give it away on Friday. Myself, myself, Sister Khadijah, and I know Brother Suleiman will be with this. We are making our intentions we already have our dara on Thursday night. We're going to start cooking the food on Thursdays and we're going to give it away on Fridays. YouTube viewers, if you watch this video, send me an email at sheikhsufi.com, CHEIKHSUFI.com. If you can send me an email saying that you want to cook the food and give it away on Fridays, if you make your intent, and Brother Zulu in Virginia, I want you to start feeding the people in Virginia on Fridays, okay? Brother Zulu in Virginia, I want you to start feeding the people on Fridays. Brother El Sahu, Sheikh El Sahu in Birmingham, Alabama, I want you to start feeding the people on Friday. My representative in New York, Brother Kawi in New York, I want you to start feeding the people on Fridays. And for the disciples in California, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba Bey, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba Bey, I want you to start feeding the people on Fridays. Okay? And we are going to feed the people on Fridays here in Allah's Garden in Atlanta. This is a beautiful Niyat. Huh? Now, I asked is there anybody else on the call who would like to make their intention to feed the homeless on Friday? Is anybody else? What name and what city are you in? It could even be, it doesn't have to be a lot of people. You could just feed one homeless person, but just do it every Friday. Who can feed one homeless person every Friday? Okay, we got Amber in New York. She can feed at least one homeless person every Friday. Who else can do it? Hold on, I'm gonna write these names down so I can do the dua. I'm gonna pray for the people every Friday in their cities to do this. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get my paper and pen. Hold on. If you're on YouTube, send me a video. I mean, Friday. Okay, Sister Amber in New York. Who else? Brother Shahid Ali, you on the call? Yeah. Walaikum salam. You in Connecticut or Boston? Okay, you can feed at least one homeless person every Friday. All right. May Allah reward you, Baraka Sheki Rafal. Who else is on the call? One at a time. Go ahead. Oh, California in the building. I miss you in Dawood.
Oh, we coming back. We coming back.
Yeah, hey, give the Sheikh my love, man. So, Sister Amina, y'all can feed at least one homeless person every Friday in California? I'm putting y'all on the list now.
All right.
Now, don't give them no pork. I know y'all California people is lenient. Don't give them no pork, girl.
Listen. They tried it with me. I had to tell them.
Woo! Keep me in your dua, please. And I hope y'all move back to the Atlanta. If y'all move back, please come to the Atlanta area.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, all right. Hey, y'all give me a call this evening or tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So we got New York, Boston, California. Who else can do this every Friday? Oh, peace to the God. Hey, how's everything in Chicago, in Illinois?
Man, it's beautiful. We're gonna have to talk about it. Me and brother Maeda, you talk about it, man. I got some stuff to tell you, man.
Okay, hey. We gotta pick a date to come for me to come out to Illinois too in early next year.
Yes, sir. We're gonna put it together, inshallah.
And how's is it? So let me know. But okay, I'll put you on the list for every Friday. Okay. Who else is in? Who else went in on these blessings? Ooh, that's my brother. If I never get another, El Sahu in Birmingham. Man, y'all know what we get. Yeah, y'all know how much we get. How many blessings we get ready to get for this? Listen. I might give everybody who's doing this an extra zikr that ain't nobody else got. I'm gonna have to give y'all something extra. Who else want to do it? Who else want to participate? Get your hand out my pocket. Assalamu alaikum, Supernova in Cleveland. Now, if anybody needs to have their astrology chart done, our sister Ali is one of the best astrologers in North America. Astrology chart done. Can you give us your email so they can give you? And how much do you charge for astrology reading, sister?
It's $40.
So, and for all the people on YouTube and the people on this call, Sister Ali Tash, what's your email so I can give your email on YouTube and the people in the call? Sacred, SACRED. Empress, EMPRESS. Sacred Empress at. Oh, Sacred Empress, ALITASH. Sacred Empress Ali Tash at yahoo.com is the email. Let me tell you, she's one of the best astrology readers in North America. She's very intuitive, and she only charges $40 donation. It's good to check your astrology chart because we all have a fingerprint, but your fingerprint in the universe is the position of the stars at the point when you was born. Your fingerprint in the universe is the position of the stars at the exact time that you were born. So it's very good to know president or spiritual leader or king or nobody of any importance never lived their life without consulting the stars. My teachers have said that my teachers in Africa told me every person has a star. He said your star is either in the ocean, in the moon, or in the sun. He said your star is either in the ocean, the moon, or the sun. And the people whose star is in the sun have the highest ability for leadership and spiritual development. So everyone has a star. You're born under a certain star. It's very good to. The Quran, there's a chapter called the star. Why would Allah have a chapter in the Quran called Al-Najim, the star? Okay? The most powerful astrologers in the history of the world were called the Nujamis. The Nujamis were Sufi astrologers. Okay? The Nujamis were Sufi astrologers. One of the Sufi sheikhs from West Africa can give you practices to bring your star out of the heavens to come inside of your body. Oh, did I say that? Oh God, I'm not supposed to say that in public. So let me stop talking about the star. But if you need a reading, get with our sister Empress Ali Tash at yahoo.com, and she will give you the astrology reading. Thank you so much. Who else wants to get in on this blessing every Friday? Walaikum salam. Oh, Nene So? How do you spell Nene?
It's Nene, like baby in Wolof, Nene.
Oh, Nene.
Mm-hmm.
And you're where are you in California? What city?
I'm in a city called Los Osos.
Los Osos.
Yeah, there was a pink sunset the other night.
So you are in the Sister Amina's in California, and you're in California. I don't know how far you are from each other, but that's something to think about.
Yeah, I'm in the Central Coast area.
And where are you at, Sister Amina? Where at?
I'm in San Diego. Oh, see, I just left San Diego. I'm from San Diego.
Well, it's a blessing. Yeah, y'all might need to. Hold on, which Khadija is it? Oh, we got the California going.
Yeah, I'll actually be back down there on the 29th to go pick up my husband. So if anybody needs anything from Senegal, he's coming back. So if anybody needs some cafe tuba or anything, you can just let me know. I can get that for you while we're down there. I can, we can do a meetup or something.
I'll be the first to tell you I need some zikr beads and cafe tuba.
Or anything else.
Okay. Give me a call or a text sometime before you go, inshallah.
Okay.
So we got New York, Amber, Shahid in Boston, Amina and Cali, Brother Baki in Illinois, El Sahu in Birmingham, Ali Tash in Cleveland, Nini So in Cali. Who else wants to join in for this blessing? What's your name, brother? Sinditi Fall? In Virginia? How did I get this blessing? I mean, so maybe, hopefully you and Brother Zulu can do it together on Fridays.
Oh yeah, I will. I surely will. I come off of work, I'm doing it.
Yeah, so I'm putting for the feeding project every Friday. Who else is on the call that wants to join in Friday for the feeding? Yes.
When you finish getting this, can I ask you another question?
Yes. So let me see. We got I'm putting our name on the list. Hold on. Khadijah, Atlanta. Sister Khadijah, you're gonna get so many blessings for setting it off.
Yeah. Oh, I got a question too.
Yes.
I always wondered what was the moon crescent meaning when you got in your book of sort of life, when you open it, you got Islam, Iman, Aishan. What's the moon? Crescent moon and star mean?
This is a good question. Africa, he's asked. I have a book called Iman, Islam, and Sun, and the Sword of Light. The Sword of Light has a crescent with the moon under it and the star above it. So in our teachings, the sun represents the man, the moon represents the woman, and the star represents the child. So in West Africa, you see the moon under the star, and it's also, the moon is for wisdom and the star is for understanding. So this is the birth of understanding inside of the seeker. That's what the sun and that's what the moon and the star represents in our teachings. The moon representing wisdom and the woman giving birth to understanding. So it's the birth of understanding inside of the seeker. That's what it stands for in the book. That's a very good question.
I was
Yeah.
And somebody asked me, and I said, you know what? I'll ask somebody on that. And I was over myself, so I
because the moon represents wisdom and the star represents understanding. And the moon is the woman and the star is the child. Yep. So once again, the people who are on YouTube, assalamu alaikum, send me an email to sheikhsufi@gmail.com, CheikHSufi.com if you plan on joining in. We're going to call this the Dara Khidma Sheikh Ibra Fall. Every Friday, we will participate in the Dara Khidma Sheikh Ibra Fall, the Dara of the work of Sheikh Ibra Fall. Let me write that down. Every Friday is the Dara Khidma Sheikh Ibra Fall. That's the name of our Dara for Friday, and our activity is feeding people. Sheikh Ibra Fall. Now, one teaching that I need to give people. They asked Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, is there anything better than Islam? Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said the only thing better than Islam is feeding people. He said the only thing better than Islam is feeding people. Because if a man is hungry or a woman is hungry, they cannot hear your Islam. But if you give them some food, they might be able to hear your Islam. Now, Sheikh Ibra Fall, they asked Sheikh Ibra Fall, one disciple came to Sheikh Ibra Fall and said, Sheikh Ibra Fall, I want to become a waliullah, I want to become a saint like the saints before me. And the disciple said, but I don't pray 5 times a day. I don't do a lot of my prayers. I don't read a lot of Quran. I don't do the zikr that the saints have done before me. I don't do a lot of the fasting, but I want to become a saint like the other high masters before me. What can I do, Sheikh Ibra Fall? Sheikh Ibra Fall said, Adom, Badom. Sheikh Ibra Fall said, my son, it's easy to become a wali in this time period. Sheikh Ibra Fall said the best way to become a saint in this time period, Sheikh Ibra Fall told the disciple, cook food and give it away. Sheikh Ibra Fall said by cooking food and giving it away to the homeless or the needy, you will receive the high station of the saints and wali who did all the prayers. So in this time period, cooking the food and feeding the people will give you the station of being a wali and a saint, according to Sheikh Ibra Fall's teachings. And I believe everything he said. Lumu wak dig. Lumu Sheikh Ibra Fall wak, lolo moy dig. Sheikh Ibra Fall moy dig. Sheikh Ibra Fall moy hak. Lumu wak moy wak dig yala. Baka Sheikh Ibra Fall. So that is our inspiration for feeding the people. And also another teaching, which was Sheikh Ibra Fall's teaching, he said dub and dubby. Dub and dubby is Sheikh Ibra Fall's teaching. Dub is a big metal pot that you put the food in. Dubby means to be in the front. Sheikh Ibra Fall said dub and dubby to his disciples, which means if you cook the big pot of food, the dub, you will be dubby. You will be in front of the people who are seeking Allah. So we make our intentions to participate in this Dara Khidma to Sheikh Ibra Fall every Friday by the blessings of Sheikh Ibra Fall. Barka Sheikh Ibra Fall, 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 Barka Sheikh Ibra Fall. Okay. Anybody else on the line who didn't get to give their name to participate in the feeding of the for Sheikh Ibra Fall on Friday for the homeless? Anybody else want to join in before we take some more questions?
I would like to join in. My name is David Duncan.
Brother David Duncan, where are you? What city?
I'm in New Jersey.
Have we met before?
I'm not sure.
I think I have about 3 disciples in New Jersey already. But I put you on the list, Brother David Duncan. You can feed at least one homeless person every Friday.
Yes, I can.
And take my email. Send me an email so we can keep in contact. CheikHSufi at yahoo.com at gmail.com. CheikHSufi at gmail.com. I want to send you 2 books. I want to send you the book on Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba's life that I wrote, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba's life teachings and poetry, and I want to send you the book I wrote, Branches of Wisdom, with the Sufi teachings in it. I'm going to give you these 2 gifts for making your intention to participate in feeding the homeless. This is beautiful. Thank you, Brother David. Oh man, this is beautiful. Anybody else on the call want to participate in these blessings? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In a matter of 30 minutes, we got 10 cities to participate every Friday. And these 10 cities are spread out all over America. You got East Coast, North Coast, in the South, in Alabama, Atlanta, and in the Midwest. So we've covered all the coast. You got Ohio, Illinois, Alabama, Boston, New York, New Jersey, California, Virginia, and Atlanta. So we covered all coasts, and we want to do this every Friday, even if it's just feeding one person. Make sure you do that in your cities to bring the mercy and blessings of Allah to all of our communities. By the blessings of Sheikh Rafal. Who else has a question?
I have one second for
Yeah, who's that?
my brother David Johnson, he got some questions. He asked some questions. I told him you gotta answer questions.
Oh, that's your brother. Okay, brother David, you got a question?
Yes, I do.
Please ask.
The Garden of Eden still falls and is still here.
Yes, the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden, now listen, I'm gonna give you the esoteric answer. In the Bible, it says the Garden of Eden is where the four rivers meet, right?
Right.
The four rivers that meet is the four valves inside of your heart. The Garden of Eden is inside of your heart. It's not outside of you nowhere. The four valves and the four chambers is the four rivers where the water flows, and that's the blood. That's why the prophet Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you. So the Garden of Eden is in the kingdom of heaven, and it's inside of your heart. It's not an outside place. And yes, it's still here. The question is, how do you go inside of your heart? Oh. How do we get to the Garden of Eden? You ain't gonna get it being on Facebook.
I know that's right.
You ain't gonna get there watching TV. But this is a very good question. You got another question, Brother David?
Yes, I do. Actually, the Nephilim.
The what?
The Nephilim.
The Nephilim is a type of angel, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, they do exist. They do exist, and they are real. All these teachings, the Nephilim, there's different species of angels and different species of jinn, and yes, they are real and they do exist. Now you know you can connect with the angel through doing certain practices. Ooh, I love your questions. Please ask another one.
I got a couple. What? There's no location on the earth that God is the Most High.
Is there what?
Any location on the earth that the Most High ever wanted to go.
No. Allah says, Allahu Rabbu Samawati wa Ard. Allah says, I'm the Lord of the heavens and the earth. So all of the earth is good. There's no place on the earth that's not bad. Because anywhere on the earth, if you have the right practices, you can reach God realization. There's nowhere on the planet Earth where reciting La ilaha illallah won't take you. There's nowhere on the earth where reciting the prayer on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi Muhammad won't raise your station. There's no place on the planet Earth where saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim will not raise you. So the whole earth is good. Now, some of the people on the earth might not be good, but the whole earth is good.
Okay, last one. The last one. Christmas. Let's do it like that.
Okay.
Are we supposed to celebrate it?
You asking me, are we supposed to celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, I got some.
Okay, let me give you this answer. Christmas is the worship of the sun.
That's it.
Christmas is nothing but the worship of the sun. Listen to me. There's something called the winter solstice. Around December 23rd, the sun is said to die. If you study the old farmers' almanacs, the December 23rd was the death of the sun, because on December 23rd at the winter solstice, the sun is said to die because there's 12 hours of sunlight and 12 hours of darkness. So on December 23rd, the sun goes into a station of non-motion, where it's not moving. The hours of sun and the hours of night are equal. So the people who worship the sun, they said on the 23rd, the sun died. The sun is dead for 3 days, December 23rd to 24th, and then the sun rises on the sun is reborn on December 25th, because on December 25th, according to the Farmer's Almanac, there's 1 minute more of daylight than there is of nighttime. So the people who worship the sun, they worship the sun on December 25th, because that was the birth of the SUN. So on December 25th, hold on, you got to mute that, please.
Yeah, because we got to get all of it.
Please mute your phone. So I'll say it again. Christmas is the worship of the birth of the SUN. The sun, they worship the sun and had their celebrations on December 25th, because the sun was said to die on the 23rd. Okay, and so on December 25th, they worship the sun because there was 1 more minute of daylight than nighttime, and so that was the rebirth of the SUN. And what they did in Christianity, since people were already worshiping the SUN on that day, and they said it was the birth of the sun god, in Pauline Christianity, they said, well, the people are already worshiping the sun on December 25th, so we'll tell them that the Son of God, Jesus, was born on December 25th, so they won't have to change their main holiday to another day. They can keep worshiping the sun in the sky, but we'll tell them it's the birth of the SON, and everybody know that Jesus was not born in no December. It was nobody out in the manger tending to the flocks and the sheep in December.
That's right.
So in answer to your question, no, we should not be practicing no worship in the sun, because we only worship Allah. There's a book called Pagan Origins of Christian Holidays. If you get this book, Pagan Origins of Christian Holidays, it'll show you how basically all of the Christmas, Easter, all of these so-called Christian holidays are based on pagan practices from those who did not worship God. Give you an example, the Easter egg hunt. The reason they look for the egg, the people who used to have orgies in Greece on the same day as Easter, they would tell the virgins to go hide in the forest, and they would go find the virgins and have sex with them on that day of Easter. That was the original Easter egg hunt.
Wow.
And for every day that these people worship, there's a story like that. I ain't no killer, but don't push me. You can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
That's right.
So anybody else have a question before we get ready to close out?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Q is an ancient Arabic god, right?
Yes.
So, human is God. This is a form of man. So, is God testing himself? My question is, God testing himself?
Yes. You asked the question, is God testing himself? Yes. Allah says I was a hidden treasure and I wanted to be known, so I created this universe so that I don't be known. So that Allah said, let me slow down. I was a hidden treasure and I wanted to be known. So I created this universe so that I would be known. The whole test and trial. One of my teachers said, This is profound. One of the Sufi masters from Baba Mahayadeen's community told me, your whole life is a dream of you waking up, and when you wake up, you will be God. That's what he said. I'm not watering it down today. One of my teachers from Baba Mahayadeen's, his name was Cheikh Mahayadeen. Cheikh Mahayadeen looked me in my face and told me about 10 years ago. He said, your whole life is God dreaming. He said, your whole life is God dreaming. And when you wake up from the dream, you will be one with God. So we have to wake up. We have to wake up from the illusion of being separate from God. That's why the Buddha was called the awakened one. The Buddha had awakened from the idea that he was separate from Allah. He had awakened from the idea that he was an individual. He had awakened from the idea of duality. We as disciples of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba must awaken from this idea that we're separate from Allah. This is only a mental construct that we have in our mind. Very good question.
Oh, I got one more question. You answer first. So is it capable of
Is it what? Yeah. You're definitely capable. Now, you asked, are you capable of tapping into your mental powers by having a clear mind? And the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. By doing meditation, you can clear your mind. And by clearing your mind, you can tap into the powers of your mind. But even more powerful than the mind is the powers of the soul. You can tap into the powers of the mind by meditation and stilling the mind. But the mind is an inkling of a power to the power that exists inside of you on the plane of the soul. And you tap into the plane of the soul by reciting the zikr, by fasting, by doing the prayers, by reading qasids. You're actually tapping into the power on the plane of the soul. What if you had the power of the mind and the power of the soul together? Yeah. We have something called speech, body, mind. Speech, body, mind is the manifestation of the power of the speech, the power of the body being the power of the heart, and the power of the mind all becoming in alignment. Speech, body, mind. Ah, Om, Hum in Tibet.
I got a question, Sheikh.
Yes.
Concerning the zikr.
Okay.
Bismillah and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Are those two different zikrs that you use for different things?
Yes. You can use the zikr Bismillah in the name of Allah, or you can use the zikr Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Okay. Another question I had was dealing with I'm a type like our polycat. Is it okay if we put like the shape, the shield of the shape that's like in your book? Is it okay that if I want to put that on the shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put this picture on a shirt and send me one. Man, who is that speaking? Yeah, Brother Baki, boy, do you know how many people in Senegal got the Sheikh's pictures on the shirt?
I want to say, to add on to that, I want to say really quick. I have a student, of course, I'm a professor of martial arts, and I was teaching one of my students, and she's from Mexico, and I had the Sheikh on my phone, and I opened my phone up, and she said, "Oh, you have the prophet, you know the prophet," and I was like, yeah, you know about Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba? She said, yeah. She gifted me a poster-size picture of the Sheikh.
And she's from Mexico?
Yeah, yeah.
How does she know about Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba?
She's very wealthy, so she frequents different parts of the world. And she said she's been in Senegal, got a lot of Senegalese friends, and she knew who the Sheikh was, and she gifted me this nice big like 22 by 18 poster of the Sheikh, which I have up.
And she just happened to be in your martial arts class?
You gave us a particular figure. Somebody called me. They called me in a different city and constructed a different program. I got 25 new students in a different city. It's like almost like immediately after you gave Bishop a few weeks ago.
Allahu Akbar. Man, listen, you having some very good experiences, Brother Baki. Yeah, call me tonight if you can. Call me in a few hours. Yeah, somebody ask one last question, then we'll close out.
Who is Lilith?
Lilith is somebody in the Bible who, I don't know her story that much, but she's one of the women. I don't know her story, so I can't really speak on it, but she's one of the women who was in the Bible, I think, around either the time of Jesus or Adam. I'm not sure.
First wife. Right. Now, is Adam first listening? Man?
Oh, no, we know for a fact Adam was not the first man.
Like you said earlier on the call, there's nobody in so-called Africa named John, Mike, Luke, Mark, Sam, David. You're not going to find those names in those lists. That's because we're trapped in an English paradigm. I mean, everything we know is given to us with English glasses on. Right.
So how do you
we had nothing else but to pull from. So then when we get something else to pull from, we immediately challenge it because, one, we don't want to seem stupid or ignorant. Right, right. Stupid is two different words. Ignorant just means I don't know. Don't know. Stupid means I don't know and I don't want to know. Right. Right.
Good teaching. Good teaching. How many?
Does the law have any enemies? As far as sins and demons and Satan, does Allah, her or himself, have any enemies?
No, Allah does not have any enemies. Man has enemies. Allah does not have any enemies.
No one can beat Allah up. What you say?
Nobody would ever think of such a thing.
Thank you. Because we have no enemies to fear but ourselves.
Exactly.
That's right.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said the lower self on the inside is a far greater enemy than 70 devils on the outside. So the only one you have to defeat is yourself. If you can defeat your own lower self, the passions and desires and materialism, you don't have to worry about any outside enemies because all the outside enemies are working with your lower self against you. So if you defeat your lower self inside of you, the shaitan, the dunya, and the passions have nothing over you.
But then the lower self is all illusion. So why make it hard?
We give power to the lower self. We give the lower self power. The lower self has no power. All the food we eat, all the misinformation we eat, all the anger, the greed, the lust, the hatred, we giving the power to the lower self. It doesn't have any power. We feed it. Just like they say at the zoo, don't feed the animals. Don't feed your animal. Don't feed your lower self. Now I got a question. Does everybody? Do you think we should have more questions and answers on Sunday, or this one is this enough?
No, this is more. Definitely. Definitely more. I've been having enough time. A lot of people want, and really a lot of people spoke about this first time.
All right. So what we'll do is next Sunday at the same time at 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll have another question and answer next Sunday. And we'll just keep doing it on Sunday until we get all the questions answered. And if we have to keep doing it every Sunday, we can do a question and answer every Sunday, but we make our intentions. Next Sunday at 1 o'clock, we will have another questions and answer with Cheikh Sufi. I really enjoyed the questions. Yes.
I got one of the, I'm at the radio station, one of the rappers that actually want to ask you a question.
Yeah, I love to take a question from an MC because that's what I used to be. They didn't know it was me. I flow like the sea in the ocean. My rhymes is like a magic potion. I give you the notion to worship God. The views of myself is kind of odd. I don't fit inside of nobody's pod. So I love to take a question from a rapper, and I hope he's wearing something that's dapper. Where does the soul go when you die? This is a very wise question because in reality, the soul doesn't die. The soul goes to live on another plane of existence. The soul does not die. The soul changes form, just like ice, water, and steam. Ice, water, and steam is the same thing. The soul is like the steam. The physical body is the water. The soul is, no, the physical body is like ice. The soul is like water, and the spirit is like the steam. Ice, water, and steam is the same thing. So when water turns into steam, does it stop to exist? When ice turns into water, did it stop? Did it cease to exist? It just changed form. So that's a good question. When your soul leaves the body, it doesn't die. It goes to live on the plane of the steam or in the spiritual world, and it has more experiences. So I tell people, do not let your earthly world mess up your spiritual life. Let's say the people who was buried in this, if you go to a cemetery, you see somebody who was buried in the 1800s. They've been underground over 200 something years. So their life underground was longer than their life above ground. So I tell people, do not let your life above ground destroy your life underground, which means don't do anything stupid in this life. Let's say you live to be 100 years old. Well, your next life is going to be millions of years. So don't do something stupid with your 100 years that can mess up your million of years. I tell people, you wouldn't let a nickel bag of weed mess up your kilo of weed, now would you? Yeah, but like let's say you made bad decisions for 50 years and then you did the lie lie la la for 1 year. That 1 year of lie lie la la would outweigh 50 years of bad deeds.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Peace.
All right. What's your input on?
Oh, the fifth dimension? You asked what's the input on the fifth dimension? You're asking the right person because my teacher, Sheikh Ibrahim, he took me up to the fifth dimension one day. Yeah. So the fifth dimension is beyond time. In the fifth dimension, you're looking at time like two linear points on a plane. Just like you can pick up a piece of paper, you picking up the piece of paper saying you're outside the paper is two-dimensional. We exist in the third dimension. The paper is length and width. We exist in the length, width, and height, the third dimension. So just as you can pick up the paper because it's two-dimensional and you're a three-dimensional being, in the fifth dimension, time becomes like something in the second dimension. You can pick it up and look at time as if it was something inside of your hand. So you see your past, you see your childhood, you see your present life, and you can see your future when you go to this fifth dimension. And I know for a fact because Cheikh Ibrahim took me to the fifth dimension and showed me when I was a child, showed me in high school, showed me myself in college, and he showed me my future. So the fifth dimension is a real place that you can go to and visit. But it's going to shake you up the first time you go over there. Yeah, man. You go over to the fifth dimension, it'll change your whole life because you actually stepping outside of the matrix and you're stepping outside of time and space and you're viewing yourself from a fifth dimensional view. Woo! I was all shook up. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going to the fifth dimension without shaking Rafal or without a teacher. That's why the Sheikh is called the spiritual guide. He guides you through the spiritual dimension.
So what is the fourth dimension?
The fourth dimension is time. We don't see time because it's a dimension above us. You can only see dimensions below you. We're three-dimensional beings, so we can see everything in the second dimension and the first dimension. Since time is the fourth dimension, and we're three-dimensional beings, we do not see time as it moves because it's one dimension above where we are. And Allah says in the Quran, "Wal asr, innal insana lafi khusr." Surely by the passage of time, man is lost, except for those who do good deeds and exhort others to do good deeds. So the fourth dimension is time, but the fifth dimension is beyond time. So when you go to the fifth dimension, you look back below and you can see time, just like I'm a third dimensional being and I can see this piece of paper because the paper is only two-dimensional.
So when you go to the fifth dimension, like that, you feel like your spirit, like a pathetic way, like.
There was a good movie. I wish I could remember the name of the movie. There was a good movie that showed the passage of time in the fifth dimension. It was one of those. It was called Interstellar. I think it was called Interstellar. The guy went to the fifth dimension, and his daughter was a scientist, and he was pushing books off the bookshelf to give her a message from the fifth dimension. And when he came back, she was older than him, and he was younger than her because he had went to a space outside of time. The movie was so deep. I can't remember the name of it though. When you come back, you're aware that everything is illusionary. When you go to the fifth dimension, the first thing you'll come back and say is, all of my life was written by God. Everything was. It's easy. Your consciousness just adjusts. Your consciousness adjusts to the dimension that you're in. Your consciousness will adjust to the dimension that you're in. And it happens normally. It's not even something difficult.
With that being said about this dimension, we got time, what we call time, all messed up and done.
Yeah, because
time isn't really seconds, 3 minutes, and
no. In the Quran it says, at the time of death, your eyesight will become clear. At the time of death, your eyesight will become clear. So we have a totally erroneous concept of time. Time is something that exist in your mind, but we are really outside of time. We exist inside of a time-space continuum, but the soul is beyond time and space. I asked a question that will mess up your whole. Let me ask you a question. What if you was already dead and your life was just you remembering what happened to you?
Before you die?
So we stuck in a never-ending cycle.
Unless you can wake up before you die. That's why becoming enlightened is so important. You have to wake up out of this dream that you're having, that you're a human being.
That's why you die before you die.
That's the Sufi way. Die before you die so that you can become immortal. And with that, I want to say the Al-Fatiha, and we'll go into another class, question and answer next Sunday. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Al-Fatiha 4 times. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Al-Fatiha. Dear Sheikh Rafal. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad Al-Fatihi lima uglika wa khatimi lima sabaka Nasirul Haqi bil Haqi wal Hadi ila siratikal mustaqim wa ala alihi haqqa qadrihi wal miqdaril azim. Barka Sheikh Rafal, 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 Barka Sheikh Ibrafal, Jem Exalam Mooch Ek K Will Ek Kalis Blueberry to Toe to Sunu Kyle Chabaka sitting follow bottom kum fire kum fall yalam fall